Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Stormy Cash, and today we're going to be talking about my coming out story, how I came out, what happened when I came out, and yeah. So if you want to know more about my coming out story and what happened, then keep watching. So to start off, guys, I was 18 years old. I came out in a really weird way. Being 18, you know, you're really vulnerable. You don't have a lot of sense of the world, even though you know you think you do. I actually met a girl, which I met her on Instagram, and she was very persistent. And I'm gonna make another video about this being my first girlfriend, which turned out to be very toxic and very abusive, which that'll be another video that I'm gonna be making. So anyways, my mom was the one that didn't take it so well. My family in general, just my mom and my dad were the ones that were a little bit more like, you know, old school, and they're Mexican, so they're Catholics. So you know how that is. But so I did a funny thing. I mean, I think it's funny, but my mom didn't think it was funny. Now it's kind of like I can talk about it more, but when I was younger, like it was really impactful for me. Like it was a really horrible time in my life. So at 18 years old, I remember I met that girl, and she actually moved from California, LA, to Vegas, which is where I live, and we moved in together right away, like after a month of dating. The first time that my mom met her, my mom was gonna meet my friend, which was true. She was my friend at the time. We weren't dating. And I invited her over, and I actually invited her to stay with us because we had extra rooms in the house. Either way, like if she didn't sleep in my bed, she was gonna be able to sleep in like 3 extra rooms. So I invited her over, and she actually came. It was, I believe it was 4th of July. Yeah, I believe it was the 4th of July weekend. The weekend, yeah. So she came over, and that was when my mom saw her. When my mom saw her, she was not happy. Her face, we all went to my brother's house, which he has a pool, and we were swimming and stuff. And when my mom saw her, she was so mad. So this girl, which I'm not gonna mention any names, a lot of you guys that have been following me for a while, that you guys will probably know who she is. She's tattooed, a little bit on the heavier side. She's like pierced, tattooed. So my mom was livid. It would have been the same thing if she would have probably saw a guy that was that way. But since it was a girl, and since she was a butch woman, she was just mad dogging her. So that was the first thing. And by then I think they already knew, you know, I was dating her, or that I was gonna date her. So next thing, I was already driving at the time, which I had my car, I think. I don't think I had my license. No, I did have my license. I don't know, I don't remember. But anyways, so we were driving around and stuff, and then my mom texts me. She texts me this long paragraph thing saying, "You're a fucking lesbian, blah, blah, blah. I know that you're dating her. That's not just your friend, blah, 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 blah." And so, at first I was scared because like I was 18 and I didn't have anywhere to go and stuff. So I was like just worried about that. But then came in the next few days. So she was here for a few days, and she had to go back to California. I dropped her off at the bus, and then whatever. When I came back from the bus to dropping her off, my mom was home, and that's when things got wild. So was I went to the kitchen where my mom was at, and she had already been saying some really mean things to me. But these are the kind of the summary of what happened. This is the thing that where it gets crazy. So I actually recorded my mom telling me at this point that she was never gonna accept me, that it's not true that I'm gay, that I can't be gay because I used to play with Barbie dolls when I was little. So there's no way I can be gay. Barbie dolls, right? Barbie. So I recorded her saying that she's never gonna accept me, that it's not true that I'm gay, and that I used to play with Barbie dolls. And in the same video, she was talking about my uncle, which is gay and has been with his partner for years, and he's older, my dad's brother. So it wasn't my mom's side of the family, but either way, she was talking about him in the video, which she said, oh, I do believe that he's gay because he's been like this since he was little. My mom, backstory, my mom has never really been like a mom. I grew up learning everything from my sister. She really taught me everything I know. So my mom didn't really know what I was feeling, never asked me anything. Like, they didn't really show love to us. And I'm saying they because both my mom and my dad were the same. So she freaks out, and I wish I still had the video. She was livid when I posted it on Facebook for all her friends and family to see. So she was like, get your things and get out. By the time that your dad gets home, which he lived in Cali and came back and forth from LA to Vegas every week because he worked out there. So she said, when he gets home, I want you to be out, or if not, he's gonna take your things. My dad wasn't very like as aggressive and as impulsive as my mom, but I believed her, and I was like, you know what, it's time for me to leave. So it was, I believe it was August, and I had just turned 18 earlier in the year, in February. And so I was like, you know what, it's time, I'm moving out. So at the time, my sister was living in Summerlin, and I moved in with her. And yeah, like, I remember just being really upset. I remember clearly the day that I left the house and what I felt. I remember that, like, Lincoln Park was, oh my god, I am gonna fucking cry. This is I was okay. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm crying. It's because I'm on my fucking period, that's why. I remember clearly the day that I left and what I was feeling. And I remember clearly what band I was playing on the way of me leaving the house with all my stuff. I just felt like who I was, and I had felt like this for a long time, but I felt like I was the black sheep of the family. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like no one really cared about me. And I especially felt like my mom didn't care about me. When she told me that she'll never accept me, that really hurt, because I finally was being true to who I was, and my own mother not accepting who I am was really traumatic for me. So on the ride to my sister's house, you know, where I was gonna live, I just remember crying the whole way. Like, I remember feeling really depressed and anxious, and it was just a really horrible feeling that your mom, and you know, I didn't know how my dad felt because I hadn't talked to him about it. But knowing that my mom told me that she'll never accept me, that she thinks that I'm playing, that this is just me acting or something along those lines, it really hurt. And you know, I decided to stay true to who I was, and I just left because I wasn't gonna be putting up with someone telling me that this is not who I am and that, you know, they'll never accept me. I said, fine, if you don't accept me, that's fine. I'm gonna continue to live my life. You don't have to be in my life if you don't accept me. And that's what it was. I remember in the next couple months, my mom started getting really bad. She was getting really depressed, and my mom has a history of depression and anxiety and a bunch of other things, but mainly those two things, and she goes to therapy for them. And I have too since I was 12, but I don't go to therapy anymore, mainly because I, you know, like to be natural, and I actually have another way of kind of curing my depression, which is probably something that I'll talk about later on in other videos. But anyways, yeah, so I remember feeling really lost and alone, and luckily I had my sister there for me, which I love my sister. She's my number one. I adore her more than anyone in the world. And my sister has been more like my mom than my actual mom has ever been. So yeah, in the next months, it was really hard, and I didn't have a job at the time, so I was looking for a job and trying to help my sister out with the rent. And then I did land a job, and of course, that's when my ex had moved in with us, which I was the only one working. She didn't have a job because she just moved to Las Vegas. She was looking for a job. But yeah, all in all, now talking about my coming out story, it was painful remembering how I felt and how it was when I left the house. Now I am glad to say that things have gotten much better. My mom has been more understanding, I guess. It's not something we talk about, but she knows that I am a lesbian, and that I've been with girls. I will say that for anyone who is thinking of coming out or is scared of coming out and the outcome of their parents, I would just say, be true to you. You have to stay true to yourself, because if you don't stay true to yourself, that can cause other things, like depression, suicidal thoughts. And I understand that it's hard, and I understand that some of you guys are scared because of your living situation, but never be afraid to be who you are. People who are gonna love you and accept you for who you are, then those are the people that should be in your life. The people that don't accept you, the people that will say anything negative to you, anything at all, cut them out of your life. They weren't meant to be in your life. You need people that are gonna support you, that are gonna make you feel safe and welcomed. You do not need people who are gonna put you down or call you names or any of that stuff, because that's just traumatic for you, and you're gonna need to recover from those things later on in life. So I would say stay true to you and come out whenever you feel it's the time to. So yeah, that was my coming out story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more videos, comment down below and say what you guys want to see. Until next time, my name is Stormy Cash, vegan, feminist, lesbian, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.